Hello everybody, this is Elliot from ETJ English. How are you all doing today? Now, I've got an interesting lesson for you. I recently ran a poll on Facebook. I gave you 3 options between 3 different videos that I could do for my next lesson, this lesson. And the winner, by far, was the option of phrasal verbs. And I thought it would be. You guys love your phrasal verbs. I mean, you really love phrasal verbs. It's a little bit of a basic lesson, but it's still good. You know, everybody needs to know phrasal verbs, and for some people this might be quite an easy lesson. For others it could be quite challenging. But I think I've got some of the most common phrasal verbs in this listening practice. After we've done the listening practice, I'm going to explain all of the phrasal verbs that I used, and it's also going to be useful for some of you doing the IELTS exam. Because this topic, the morning routine that I'm going to talk about, is something that comes up a lot in the speaking part of the IELTS exam, which is something I also teach on Skype. So without further ado, I'm going to go and talk about my morning routine. Now, not everybody uses this many phrasal verbs, but I'm trying to put as many in there as I can so that you can understand, where we use phrasal verbs and kind of how frequently they can be used. I mean, they're so common. So I'm going to try and get all of these phrasal verbs in here. I've got a big list in front of me. I'm going to make it up as I go along. So I'm going to create it, improvise, and let's hope it's good. So I hope you enjoy the lesson. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about my morning routine. And generally, it all starts when I get up. So usually I get up at about, let's say 7:25. That's when I set my alarm. Anyway, it does depend if it's a weekend. On a weekend I usually have a bit of a lie-in, so I might wake up a little bit later so I can relax a bit. So after I've woken up, I usually get out of bed, of course, and run down the stairs. And then I go into my kitchen. I'll sort out my breakfast, of course. So it depends if I have an early Skype lesson, what I have for breakfast. If I have an early Skype lesson, then I'll probably just fix up a quick bowl of cereal, chop up some fruit and throw it in there. But if I don't have an early Skype lesson and I feel like treating myself, which I know we all do sometimes, I might actually cook up some bacon and eggs and have a bit of an English traditional fry-up. It's a nice treat to have sometimes, I would say. So usually when I have my breakfast, I'll probably switch on the TV and catch up with the recent news that's on the news on the TV and enjoy my breakfast. So I do all this before, of course, I jump in the shower, clean myself and get ready for the day. I think I'm quite lucky because I work from home. Now, a lot of people usually have to get ready really fast and then they have to, jump in a car, hop on a bus or get on a train, and they have to get to their place of work on time. Now for me, I just get to sit down on this chair and teach lessons on Skype. I mean, there's a lot more to it, making YouTube videos and things like that. But yeah, I think I'm quite lucky. But, I do try and get out of the house and get some fresh air when I can, because I think that's very important. I might also go out and get some food in for the night, for dinner. But yeah, that's generally my morning routine. That's kind of how it works. I think it's quite normal, similar to the sort of routine that most people have. Now, I'm sure you probably noticed a lot of phrasal verbs in there, and yeah, that was a lot of phrasal verbs. So I'm going to actually explain all of these phrasal verbs now, and hopefully you'll have a bit of a better understanding of how we can use phrasal verbs, and maybe you might learn some new ones in here also. So it all starts when I get up, and that is when you open your eyes and your day begins from your sleep. Now, we had lie in. A lie-in is when we sleep for longer. So maybe we don't have anything to do that morning, so we have a lie-in, which means that we just sleep for longer. And English people love lie-ins. Wake up, of course, is the same as get up, really. It just means to open your eyes and begin your day. Get out of bed. That simply means to exit your bed. Run down the stairs. Now, I could have said walk down the stairs. I could have said race down the stairs. I could have said jump down the stairs. Whatever you want. Make it sound as energetic as you want. I said run because maybe I'm in a rush. So you can do whatever you want to make your way down the stairs. in the morning or in the day, whenever, or up the stairs, of course. Sort out my breakfast. And this simply means just to prepare my breakfast. I can sort out anything if I want to organize it and, let's say, prepare something. Fix up. Similar thing, but this means to actually start doing it. So I started fixing up my breakfast, which means I started doing it, doing the action of making it and creating it from scratch, from the beginning. Chop up. And this means to cut my food. So I chopped up some fruit. Quite self-explanatory. You chop it. We put up at the end, and it's more common than just saying chop a lot of the time. So up can sometimes be a really common thing, even though it doesn't need to be in the word or phrase necessarily. I said that I throw it in. I throw my fruit in, and that just means I'm adding it. Throw it in. We like to be a bit more exciting when we talk about things in English because we don't want it to sound boring. If I just said I put my fruit in my bowl, it doesn't sound as energized and exciting as when I say that I throw it in. Okay, so we say that a lot. And then I said I cook up or fry up. A fry up is traditionally an English meal, an English breakfast. If you don't know what it is, then Google English breakfast or English fry up. And I said I cook it up. To cook up something means just to cook something, okay? So it's just the action. We just put up on the end. Don't ask me why, but it's normal. Switch on the TV. Quite self-explanatory. I'm sure you know this. It just means to press the power button and turn it on, as it were. Catch up with the news. That simply means to stay up to date. That's another thing we can say. Stay up to date. And that just means to be up to now, to understand everything up until now, to be up to date. Jump in. I jump in the shower. I could just say I get in the shower, but I wanted it to sound a bit more exciting, so I said that I jump in the shower with energy. Get ready for the day. That simply means to get your clothes on, clean your teeth, to get ready for the day, okay? You can get ready for a lot of things. It's usually getting changed, getting dressed, okay? Get ready. And then I started talking about people who have to jump in a car or jump on a bus, hop on a bus, get on a train, all these different things. We can put whatever word we want in the verb section, okay, before the preposition to make it sound more exciting. I often say that I jump in my car if I'm going to drive somewhere. So it's a good one to think about. And then I say that people have to get to their place of work, and that simply means they need to arrive. They need to make the journey and arrive. They have to get to. It's like saying to get somewhere. On time, that simply means to arrive there at the time that you need to be there, to be punctual, to arrive on time. And then I said I'm lucky and I get to just sit in my chair. That's what I get to do. And that means it's like that's what I'm allowed to do. That's what I can do. I'm able to do this. I get to just sit in my chair and work. Get out of the house, same as get out of bed. It means to exit, to leave your house. So I get out of my house. This one's really common. Get some fresh air. That simply means to breathe the air in, breathe all the air around you in and feel it. Get some fresh air, outdoor air. And then I also go out and get some food in. Of course, I get some food in, which usually we say this when we get food from the outside from a shop and we get it in our house to then cook for dinner later. So someone might say, have you got any food in yet? And that means, do you have any ingredients and food ready to cook for your dinner tonight? So food in, get your food in. And there you go. So I hope you found this kind of list of phrasal verbs useful. Like I said, for some people this is quite basic, for some people this is quite advanced. But what I recommend is now that I've taught you all of these phrasal verbs, you've heard them, hopefully you've written them down and remembered them. Now I recommend that you listen to my piece of speech again that I just read out. And I recommend that you actually listen to those phrasal verbs again. Try and remember what I just explained and see how much better you understand them. Feel free to share your morning routine using as many phrasal verbs as you can in the comments section below. Now remember, there's loads of other phrasal verbs. There's so many you can use. Some of these ones that I've talked about have multiple meanings, but I've just taught you them in context here, okay? So just in the context of talking about the morning routine. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the lesson, guys. Please give me a thumbs up, it really helps me out. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. You can also book a Skype lesson with me where we can learn more phrasal verbs, we can practice IELTS, we can do whatever you want to improve your English conversation and speaking skills. Thank you very much for watching, guys. As always, it's been a pleasure. Cheers. I'll see you all in the next video.